SEC is a tough league. I mean, that team's only won one game in the SEC, and you saw how tough it was to get a win. Got to give a ton of credit to Mississippi State. They came ready to play. I thought they had a great plan. They improved more than we improved from the first time we played them. I didn't think we did a great job getting our guys ready to go. We didn't do a good job attacking them. We didn't start the game like we needed to, but I give our guys a lot of credit in the second half. They found a way to get a win in a tight game. We haven't had very many tight games, so it's not the worst that we had to figure out how to win a close game, especially when you're down. I told our guys 2 years ago when we won the SEC championship, in the tournament, in the semifinal, we're down 15 to Tennessee. You got to figure out how to win games that aren't going your way. I mean, we shot 18% from three and couldn't buy a bucket, and still figured out how to beat a pretty good team. I mean, I know their record doesn't say they're good, but I still think they're a good team. I think they're going to upset some people. They play really hard. They had us down 10, so they had us down 11, I think, at one point. So it's a quality team, but at this point, we'll take a win.
Yeah, you mentioned this is not the worst to have a close win. What are the specific things you want your players to take away from a night like this that can help in the postseason?
We told them, one, they got to be ready to go out of the gate. We chart blue-collar points. They had us doubled up in the first two 4-minute wars. I didn't think we played hard enough. Mississippi State was playing harder than we were to start the game. So then when you're not playing hard enough, you're not getting stops on offense, you start to struggle a little bit. I think when your defense is great, you kind of just lose yourself in the game. The offense is easier. You get some easier buckets in transition. So then it kind of compounded. I thought in the second half, we played a lot harder. The beginning of the half wasn't great on offense. We had, I think, 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes. But I thought we were playing harder. And then eventually we played hard enough, got enough stops, got out in transition, hit a few transition buckets, got some easier looks. The offense started flowing a little bit more. But, it was not a great offensive game by any stretch for us tonight.
How big was JQ tonight on offense to kind of get the offense going late in the second half on that run, whether it's facilitating the ball or scoring himself?
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, he can shoot, so they couldn't really sag him as much, and they tried to switch. I thought he's got some explosiveness to get in the paint, make plays happen. He hit the 1-3. He hit some drives going in. He made his free throws for the most part. I think he missed the one late, but he's 5 of 6 at the line. So, he had 4 assists and only 1 turnover. I think you're starting to see he ended up leading us in scoring tonight, on a night when we needed some scoring help. They did a great job on Brandon and Sears. We needed somebody to step up and score the ball, and JQ's been able to score it for us pretty well in the past. We needed him tonight. So, we needed everybody. I thought Pringle played well. I maybe should have got him a few more minutes, but he scored 7 points in 8 minutes. He was 3 for 3 at the line. Those free throws were big. This is a guy that struggled in the past. He's worked hard to correct his free throws, and we needed every last one of them tonight. So there's a couple guys that maybe hadn't played as big a role as we needed. Noah Gurley, I thought, gave us big minutes late in the game and closed the game for us. So we got it's the thing about this team is we're deeper. We got some depth. We can use it, when we need to, and we had some guys step up tonight.
Yeah, you just kind of got into that a little bit, but you went to the bench pretty early. Brandon was out of the game in the first 4 minutes. Just what were you looking for, from the bench at that point, and also what did you get from Dom Welch, 2 for 3?
Yeah, it was great to see some shots drop for Dom. That one at the end of the half was big, cut it from 10 to 7. We know he's a shooter. He's been practicing really hard, trying to get him some minutes. The Brandon, I didn't really take him out for doing anything wrong particularly. It's just, I think there was 16:40, if I remember right, to go. We were coming down on defense. He just picked up a foul. I figured I got him right back in at the media. I just figured we could save him a possession or 2 on defense, try not to get him in foul trouble. I know we're going to need him. Might have been good because he ended up with 3 fouls. He picked up a couple unnecessary ones there in the second half. He tends to do that occasionally. So Brandon's deal was just trying to foul trouble. And then I thought offensively, I think, did I sub JQ in for Bradley maybe too? I thought JQ could maybe get us going a little bit. They'd have to guard him a little bit closer out there. He's a little bit better shooter. They seemed to be helping off Jaden a lot, sagging him. Jaden did do a good job, I thought, bringing in the second half, maybe attacking a little better, but it was a little harder with the way they were guarding Jaden to get us going a little bit.
Coach, how would you assess the defensive performance from the first half to the second half and the improvements that were made there?
Look, our energy got better. I mean, played harder, got some steals, made some deflections, our points off turnovers. This is a team that needs to score off turnovers in Mississippi State. They had 9 off turnovers. We had 22. I think a lot of those came in the second half. So I think it was a deal where our guys realized, we're down 7, and I think we got down 10 again in the second half. Like, this isn't an easy game. We got to pick our energy up. Now, it's disappointing that we had to pick it up. It should just be there from the beginning, but we picked it up. We figured out a way to get a win, and, if you're going to win an SEC championship, you got to win some games that you don't play your best, and we figured out a way to get a win. Our defense in the second half, I think, was what did it.
You talked about it at the end there, but you said the team needed to pick it up in the second half. Is there anything that you said in the locker room to kind of inspire the team to play a little bit harder, or was there anything that was said during that time?
I mean, we just pointed out all the defensive screw-ups they had. I mean, the numbers were down in the blue-collar stats. We were down on the glass. Just based, I mean, it was nothing profound. We just said we got to play harder. Like this, we told you at the beginning, told you coming in, this is a hard-playing team. If you don't play harder than them, they're a team that can beat you. Shoot, we're down 7. We could have easily been down 10 if Tom didn't hit that 3 at the end of the half. But I thought our guys did play harder in the second half, so there was no real major adjustments, to be honest with you. I thought offensively we did a little bit better job, although we had 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the second half, so it didn't look like we did much better. But I thought we were able to score off our defense a little bit. We did a little bit better job with some of the switch attacks in the second half too. So.
What's the vibe at halftime? Is it you? Is it more of a butt chewing, or is it you let some of the players kind of speak for themselves? You got some veterans. Like
honestly,
JQ.
like I usually the staff meets for 3 or 4 minutes. Coming into this, we went right in and just started checking off everything that was wrong. Like it was so much wrong that we just had the whole list. And it wasn't, I mean, we were definitely a little animated with some of the screw ups and why they did it, but it wasn't necessarily butt chewing. I think this team's a pretty mature group that knew they weren't playing as hard and as well as they needed to. And if we're going to win, we got to fix this. I mean, we screwed up switches. We screwed up some coverages. We didn't talk through some stuff. Offensively, some of our turnovers were not good turnovers. So there's plenty of stuff to fix. We went through it. Told them, go out and get yourself a good warm up. We got to be ready to go. And I think you saw them at kind of the end of the half. They had a little longer meeting there. I think that's when they got together and we got picked this thing up. So we got pretty good leadership within the team.
Hey, Coach, going into this one, number 2 team in the country, everybody in the conference wants to knock you guys off. How do you think your team is handling the growing target on its back?
Based on tonight, it didn't look good. It was the worst game we'd played in a while. So I personally thought we'd been handling it pretty well coming up till tonight. So, we've also had a lot on our plates the last week and a half. I don't know if, I thought we did well at Vandy. We did pretty good at Missouri. Maybe some of that's catching up. I don't know. But I don't think this is a group that's going to let too much of that get to their head. To me, listening to them talking to them one-on-one, like I think they all understand there's plenty of room to get better, and we got to get better. This is, I don't know what the deal was tonight. Based on tonight's play, it looks like we're not handling it well, but I honestly don't think that's the case within the group. I think we'll bounce back. Hopefully we can learn off a win. A mature group can come in after a win and learn just as much as they can after a loss. So, we didn't play as well as we need to. Hopefully we learn the lessons we need to after a win and get a little bit better on Saturday.
Coach, I wanted to, when you win games like this, you got to show a lot of grit. I thought a couple of the key sequences, Noah Gurley got a big board and also with a big assist that sent Clowney to the line for 2. talk about his contribution tonight. And then also, you guys' first lead of the game was Ryland's 3 from the corner. He also had a little floater in the lane. I thought he played pretty fearless, but just talk about those two guys off the bench.
Yeah, Ryland has no fear. He's a super confident kid. He prepares himself to play well. He's been shooting the ball really well in practice. He shot it well at Missouri. We expect those to go in. You know, he's a good player. He's going to be really good for us when we need him to be this year and down the road. And then I thought Gurley was great. Yeah, the assist he had to Clowney. Clowney did a great job at the free throw line tonight, going 7 of 8. You know, he's worked hard to get that fixed like Pringle has. But Gurley got the old board. He made a couple big plays. I thought the defense he had was it I can't remember who he was on, which guard it was on. It was either Moore or Reed, if I remember right. I thought it was really good for like 10 seconds, and he just reached in at the end. But I thought you could tell he was ready to go, moving his feet, sitting down guard. And so we need some veteran guys that maybe aren't playing huge minutes. Just come in. Thought Dom and Gurley both did that for us tonight, in my opinion.
2 questions. The first one, going back to depth, with about 10 minutes left in the first half, you're down 18-9, and you subbed in your 10th and 11th player that had played to that point. Looking for a spark for as far on the bench as you need to at that point, or does it just speak to how confident you are in those guys?
Yeah, which 2 guys were, though? I don't remember which 2 I put in.
The last 2 were Burnett and Pringle.
Yeah, so Burnett's obviously been a starter for us, so I definitely have some confidence in him. I thought he's a great kid. I thought he was a little antsy to make a play, gambled on defense, and then they kind of punched it to him. You know, he gave up 2 buckets. But we've got a lot of confidence in him. He's got to get some game reps. You know, hopefully we can get some separation from some teams and he can get back in game mode. And then Pringle played well against these guys last time, and he's been playing well in practice. I mean, a lot of that with some of those guys that don't play heavy minutes, how well are you practicing? I thought Pringle's been really good in practice. I thought he got himself ready to go. He played pretty good against these guys last time. Charles wasn't playing great. I thought Clowney was struggling a little bit, and you know, let's go with Pringle and see what he does. I thought he gave us pretty good minutes there in the first half.
And the second question, Quinterly took 2 mid-range jumpers. Does that hurt him on hard hat points?
We don't take away points on mid-range. The one got blocked, so obviously that wasn't a good one. The one he made, I thought that was a good shot, to be honest with you. So, you know, if they're open and the bigs just drop back, like, he's a good shooter. Go ahead and pull up and shoot them. Let's not shoot the ones that get blocked, though. Those probably aren't good shots. They get blocked.
As a coach, nobody wants to go 5 of 28, get down 11. But for a team that kind of made things look so easy, I mean, as a coach, do you kind of like relish to some extent a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, not happy with the effort for 40 minutes. Not happy with a lot of things in the game. But as a staff, sometimes you got to learn how to win a tight game. And you can't generate that in practice. I mean, we've been doing end-of-game situations knowing that I've told the guys, like, we're going to have to execute some late-game stuff. We're not going to be able to blow everybody out by 20-plus points. It's not the way it works, you know, in SEC play. So we've been working on it in practice. There's no way to emulate real game situations, though. So I thought we did a good job being down 10 in the second half, coming back, getting the lead we got. Didn't think we did a great job closing it. I mean, it was an 8-point lead with 3 minutes or so to go, and it ends up only being 3. I thought we could have done a better job with some of that late-game stuff, even the last minute, to be honest with you. But it's good to be put in those situations, figure out how to get a win. We did get some decent stops. You know, they scored a couple, but we'll learn from it, hopefully be better, because it's not going to be the last close game we have for sure.